With all of its winning credentials, the GTC is possibly the closest rival to the class-leading VW Scirocco. We got behind the wheel of both just to see how close the Astra GTC can get to its illustrious competitor. The Volkswagen Scirocco has dominated the coupe segment for several years. The sporty turbocharged Scirocco is a sleeker, more performance-based alternative to the more subdued Golf. Power, performance and attractive looks at an affordable price is a heady mix, and one that has seen the Scirocco take the coupe crown for a number of years. But this hasn't stopped rivals trying to topple the coupe, which brings me to this, the new kid on the block, the Vauxhall Astra GTC. We've recently reviewed both cars separately, but it got to the point where we thought we were going to have to put them head to head to see which one the true victor is. The Astra GTC is a 3-door coupe and it completes the Vauxhall Astra range that previously contained just hatchback and estate variations, with something completely new. Vauxhall has replaced every panel on the hatchback to create the new Astra GTC. Both the GTC and the Scirocco have very similar styles, with an almost skeletal exterior design, typical of sports coupes. The Scirocco offers a slightly lower ride height compared to the GTC, appearing squashed, and this is the distinguished look that makes the Scirocco unique in comparison to the GTC. The cabin does feel very sporty, however it's let down ever so slightly by the very narrow windows around the entire cockpit, which does leave visibility quite low. The practicality gets even worse when you get into the rear of the vehicle, which is a little bit cramped getting in for somebody as tall as me, but there's plenty of leg room, but the headroom is a little bit narrow. Again, it does feel a little bit claustrophobic in the back with these rather large headrests and these really narrow windows in the rear. One tipping point for you in your decision between the Scirocco and the GTC may be that the VW only seats 4, whereas the Vauxhall seats 5 in relative comfort.
As you'd expect from a Vauxhall, the build quality is completely fine. The quality of the materials used is good, it feels well built and sturdy, and I must say that these seats are incredibly comfortable.
Without going into equipment too much, both cars offer pretty well cloth trim levels, with things like DAB digital radio, cruise control and steering wheel mounted controls all being key features. If you want to know more about kit, you can check out the car's individual reviews. But let's get down to what it's all about and see what they are like out on the road. First of all, it's worth noting that the GTC has a new sport suspension that delivers a firmer, more responsive drive. The Scirocco, on the other hand, has a bit more going for it with an easy to use drive select mode, allowing you to prep the car for the different types of driving with a touch of a button. Engine-wise, there isn't much of a difference, when it comes to power anyway, as the GTC offers a 1.6 litre petrol engine with 170 brake horsepower and the Scirocco offers a slightly less powerful 2 litre 170 brake horsepower unit, and we'll come back to the performance in a second. Moving on to space and practicality, although sports coupes never scream practicality, it is quite an interesting aspect of the Scirocco and GTC, as they offer similar quarrels with limited headroom and cramped passenger space.
All style and no substance would be unfair and inaccurate for the Scirocco. However, there are a few design flaws when it comes to the practicality of this car. For instance, the boot, if you want to get in, there's no actual buttons or release on the back. You've got to find the key. And when you do eventually find it, you just push the button and it will release it, and there's also another button on the door sill that will release the hatch. The opening is very narrow in the back of the Scirocco and the load level is quite high, so if you are looking to get any big pieces of equipment or bags in the back, it does become a little bit difficult.
However, in terms of who takes the lead, the GTC definitely offers better practicality. In fact, the GTC's practicality isn't that far off a hatchback, and it offers more boot space, storage compartment, head space and rear passenger space than the Scirocco.
One thing that really does please me in this car, which is a relatively small thing, is we've got the option of 3 cup holders. Behind this concealed compartment, we've got 3 cup holders, which may seem like a relatively small thing, but have you ever driven a car that the cup holder is so close to the gear stick? And when you've got quite a large bottle like this, it's incredibly uncomfortable and annoying to change gears with that bottle there. Move it back here, and it's perfect.
Practicality and kit aside, we probably all agree that performance is the key aspect of the cars, and when it comes to being a sports car, both cars deliver an enjoyable drive with the responsive handling. As always, price may concern you, but the difference in price tags between the two is very marginal, hundreds of pounds to be exact, with the GTC coming in slightly cheaper at £19,040.
I've been driving both of these vehicles for just under a week, and I must say it's a very close call between the two cars. On one hand, we've got the Scirocco, that's quite a safe and traditional car, which sales are led by its stylish looks. On the other hand, we've got the much younger, fresher and more appealing GTC. Between the two cars, I'd go for the GTC based on its appeal, its sports looks and its overall drive. The Scirocco does have a range of better engines, better residual values and a more all-rounded package. But the rawness and the appeal and the sport of the GTC really does sell it for me.